Hello. Just waiting for everything to start showing that it's going live here on the display. Normally, I've been much better about scheduling these in advance so that people would know that I would be live streaming. But having failed to do that, actually, I kind of thought that I had done it, then I realized I didn't. Anyway, long story short, this is the day that I was scheduled to do a live stream, and so here I am, and hopefully some of you will find that I'm online. Hello. There we go. Didn't take too long. I was just saying, hopefully that some of you would find it and would be able to ask a few questions or things like that. This is the Wednesday coffee hour. Normally I schedule these things. Normally you get some notification that I'm going to do it, but I failed. So hopefully we'll have I don't know, whatever. We'll see. We'll see the kind of crew we have here. Oh, hello everybody. I am shocked. I kind of thought it would be like, myself talking to the internet for a few. But people are popping up. This is lovely. Hello. Thank you for joining me. This is a Q&A, so if you got a question about singing, now is the time. I was jabbering on there, so I missed a few to say hello, but hello, Tung Tran and Cami and Aaron, Raul and Ellie and Lucy and Ashraf and Lila. Always a pleasure to hear from you, Lila. Aris and Ramses and Tung. I enjoy your videos. Love the warm-ups you do. P.S. I'm a tenor. Brilliant. Thank you for joining us, all of us here this morning. Nora and Cami, I have your notifications on, so here I am. Oh, I see. So happy to see you, Jeff. Hello from Brazil. Hello from California. Thank you so much for your help. You're very, very welcome. Pleasure. From a British Cypriot in Cyprus. Crazy. Costa Rica? Hello? I train and practice your videos about 3 years now. Thank you for them. You're very, very welcome. Thank you for watching. Thank you. Presumably they're working for you, so that's great. From Lebanon, brilliant. Hello from California. Howdy, Connor. And you. Hi, Jeff from UK, 40 years of tenor. I need you. Keefe, well, hello. To ask your questions. That's what this is all about. Again, this may be a really cool time because I totally failed on putting up a notification or like letting people know in advance that I would be here this morning. So, please ask your questions. From Brooklyn, nice cap, thank you. It's a bit chilly here today, and I just trimmed my head again. So hello, Netherlands. I just saw a question go by. Hold on a second here. Betty, Ramon, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. I have a question. I'm having trouble getting past F while singing. Yeah, F is almost certainly at or right around the secondo passaggio. Assuming that you are a testosterone-fueled vocalist, like a male vocalist, or your voice is influenced by testosterone, that F above middle C is almost certainly going to be very close to or on top of what's called the secondo passaggio. That is commonly referred to as the break. And that can be really, really tricky. There is a 3-part series that I could probably update, quite frankly, but the information is just as valid. It would just be a better production quality. But if you do a search on my channel for how to sing high notes part 1, that will pop up, or get in touch with me via my website, jeffrolka.com, then I can send you the link. That would be a good place to start. It goes through all the technique of how to work at going over that registration event. And that's that the break is also referred to as the secondo passaggio. Some people call, I think in the CVT method, it's called M2. The one voice method, I'm not sure what those folks talk about it, because the idea there is that there's just one, there are no breaks. So I'm not so sure about that, but secondo passaggio, break, registration events, those are all synonyms for that place where you have to make this transition in how you're using your voice. Da 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 da. Got recruited to be my school's advanced choir's a bass. Goodness. Low, 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 low. Brilliant. Enjoy. Get used to doing intervals. Argentina. Welcome. Thank you. Welcome from California. Service from Vienna. From Vienna. Fantastic. Chicago. Sweden. Barcelona. Bogota. Cool. I am immediately thinking of Rush. I don't know if you know that band, what I'm talking about. Wales. Lucy. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. From Bogota, Colombia. Warm us with the best, Jeff. God bless. Thank you, Connor. I appreciate it. I really do. I can sing high notes while warming up, but when it comes to singing high-pitched songs, my muscles get strained. Yeah, Raul. There can oftentimes be a discrepancy between what we can vocalize versus what we can use in a song. And the reason is that the vocalizations, of course, are designed for our success so that we can be successful. And when you integrate lyrics, so in other words, consonants and patterns that are not scales, that may be intervallic or a mixture of intervals and scales, I mean, which is basically every melody right there. Anyways, you've got a variety of vowels, a variety of consonants. I'm gonna do a video about singing in tune, and I'm gonna kind of cover this in a way. So I'm gonna give you a briefer version of that here. And suffice to say, the idea is you want to take it in stages. So if, for example, and it's early, forgive me, I'm going to start in the lower part of my range here. Ugh. So it's getting tuned tomorrow, so soon I will be out of my piano misery. Tell me to sing, tell me to sing. All kinds of vowels, all kinds of consonants, there's all kinds of stuff going on, right? Then that's a pretty simple pattern too. It's not even like an intervallic thing, it's just a scale. And the rhythm is simple too. So this is a very rudimentary kind of example. Take the vowels first. Or if you can't even do that, start with a solid vowel. Put a vowel change in there. Take the vowels from your line. Tell me to sing. Integrate the consonants, but prioritize that connection with the vowel line. Tell me to sing. And that's a start. Obviously, you've got to be able to dissect your melody a little bit to do that, but if you really, really want to cross that bridge quickly, I think that if you keep on vocalizing, eventually the vocalizations will become so habitual that it will kind of overtake everything else that might be occurring in the vocal line. But if you want to try to make that go more quickly, break down your parts like that. I think I said, hey, from Sweden. If I didn't, hello. How can I avoid or be conscious about bad behaviors that I do singing? Cami, cool question. Awareness is such a huge part of making progress for us. Doing that in real time can be tricky. Yet I think that it's my, like one of the sort of fundamental things that I think about as an instructor is the idea that on some level we are all aware when we're not really making it happen, when we're not doing particularly well. I really do think that most of us have some inkling that something's not right. And so listen to that. If you're feeling that, I mean, you're asking this question, so to me, I sort of figure that you're probably contemplating that to a certain degree while you're singing. So go into those, like stop the tune, take a look at the phrase, take a look at what's going on there. Ask yourself more questions. What are the vowels? What are the consonants? What range am I in? What are the notes that I'm singing? Is it a key that I don't sing in very frequently? Is it tonality, i.e., is it in a minor key whereas normally I'm in major? Or have I recently done a transposition or a modulation in the tune? And so what are the circumstances around this? If you're still coming up without any kind of paths to pursue, record yourself, let it sit for 2 days, and then check it. And check it away from your vocal practice. So do the recording, leave it, come back to it, and see what you hear. That would be 2 really, really quick ways that I think you could probably check into it and see, maybe get some ideas and maybe kind of gauge your progress and what's going on. I forgot, thank you so much, Mo. I meant to lead off with Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everybody. I totally spaced it. From Eastbourne, UK, use your exercises through Christmas. Thank you. You're very welcome. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate it. Exactly, Paula. I know. I totally failed on posting it in advance, but there you go. Harry. Do all vocal exercises work regardless of the style of singing? So, depends on the style of singing that you're talking to. The vocalizations on my channel, and there are but a few exceptions to what I am about to say. The vocalizations on my channel are designed to cultivate what I would consider to be the neutral phonation of the voice. So 5 cardinal vowels resonate and perform similarly, or one might even say the same, across the variety of registration events that occur in human voice. If you're practicing Tuvan throat singing, though, I can't really say whether or not the exercises on my channel are appropriate for that. If you're looking for general vocal health, general sustainability, you want to make good registration event practice, or in other words, be able to access your higher registers or sing higher notes, then that's what the practices on my channel are about. If you're doing some extended technique kind of stuff, like I said, Tuvan throat singing, or you're wanting to do the Cookie Monster voices from metal, the vocalizations on my channel may help you keep your voice healthy, but they are not necessarily going to directly result in a Cookie Monster voice. The Cookie Monster voice is an affectation that's using vocal fry and the ventricular folds or the false vocal folds. And I suppose one might argue, as I'm thinking about it, one might argue that the flexibility that you would learning these techniques would help with that, like having the awareness and the flexibility to adopt those kinds of phonations. But it's not a direct correlation. You'll have to still do some experimentation. The exercises on my channel are derived from bel canto exercises and are, I mean, technically it's opera technique, but I'm not an opera singer. I don't purport to be one. And although the techniques are a part of that practice, I often, in my own singing, am adapting the vowel sounds to remain in the popular genres. That's kind of what I do. But like the Apagio breath management, the breathing system, is all taken from bel canto singing, all opera technique. Hello from Puerto Rico. I'm a baritoner. Good for you, Jordan. How long should I practice a day? Good question. So let's break this down. If 15 to 20 minutes of vocalizations is getting you like what you need from your voice, then 15 to 20 minutes of vocalizations in addition to whatever it is you're singing repertoire-wise would be my recommendation. Without knowing more about your specific practice and what you are doing, that's a general kind of guideline, which is to say it is inherently false, right? Whenever we generalize, there's always going to be an exception. So there will be an exception to that rule. But in general, 15 to 20 minutes. If you are in the studio every single day and you are recording every day for hours at a time, it's quite likely that when you open your mouth for that first vowel of the day, your voice is just falling out in its already pre-warmed up capacity. If you're, using it in a sustainable way, if you're really thrashing it, then other things might be happening. You might need to clear some mucus and things like that, which vocalizations are the best thing for. So yeah, you have to gauge whether or not you are achieving the results that you wish to achieve. I think a lot of times we get stuck on these ideas of generalizations, but if you're looking to enhance your registration event practice, then 15 to 20 minutes of vocalizations a day might not be enough. If you want to make really quick progress, then 15 to 20 minutes might not be enough. But the thing is that you might still be better served doing 15 to 20 minutes of specific vocalization practice on what needs strengthening in your performance, in your practice, and then breaking down your repertoire stuff into vocalizations, specifically looking at how those two things correlate. So if you're working on registration event practice in your vocalizations, and you're working on your repertoire, your songs, and you're like, well, I can sing this verse for days, and it has no issues whatsoever, but man, the chorus is just breaking down every time. Well, don't bother with the verse. Get to the chorus. Get to the stuff that needs practice. Break it down into vocalizations and tackle it that way. In other words, if it's already sounding awesome in your practice, you probably don't need to practice that. You need to look at the things that are giving you challenges. And again, that's a general guideline too. Sometimes it's fun to just sing, to do what sounds good and what comes easy. It's important to take that time too. It doesn't have to be, nor should it always be, just the stuff that is giving you issues. Oh, and yesterday I hit a C2. Apparently. Mario, do you have online classes? I'm from Mexico. Yes, you can get in touch with you on my website, and we can sort that all out. It's jeffrolka.com. Byzantine chant. Awesome. Jeff, stopped having lessons years ago. I'm in my 60s. Is it too late to get my tenor one voice back? Whoa, that jumped forward. There's a lot more questions than I thought. Let me get back to where I once belonged, to quote a band. Keefe. Excellent question. I would say it's never too late to ask the question and to try. So if you, I'm not necessarily advocating getting lessons, though that might be something to consider. But I would just get into your vocalizations, assess your registration points. There's a certain level of atrophy, and it depends on what's happened in between. Not having lessons isn't the end of the world. Stopping singing even isn't the end of the world, but therein is where your coordination and the awareness of the muscle groups there, the thyroarytenoid and the cricothyroid musculature, that awareness can diminish over time. But I would say it's never too late to start assessing how things are working, what is the level of coordination across the secondo passaggio, and begin your practice. There's no reason not to do that. I'm Sheen. I'm from Cheltenham, Pennsylvania. I'm tenor 2 baritone. I do sing at church. I'm also vocal percussion. Brilliant. I once, in a studio, mic'd a gentleman's throat to get his sounds. Greetings from a tenor in Barcelona. Thank you. I appreciate your very kind words. Ellie, I'm a tenor. How many times can I practice the warm-ups per week? Whatever serves your artistry, really. There doesn't have to be an upper limit necessarily, although I would make sure that I like scales. You may have noticed there's a few on the channel. I'm really into scales. To me, the scale and the exercises here on the channel are in some respects the distillation of musical concept, that they are the sort of the mustard seed at the heart of it all. To that end, I can just practice scales and scales and scales and not do repertoire, which is not the point entirely, I guess. The point is that keep in mind that you might want to work on your repertoire too. Don't sing scales or exercises or the videos at the exclusion of your repertoire. That being said, if you just like singing the scales and doing that, as a sort of vocalese, vocal meditation, it's meant to be sustainable. So if you're practicing good arpeggio and you're making good registration event practice, you can just enjoy, have fun, sing scales. That sounds cool. I love singing scales. I am an upper singer singing gospel too. The pistachio break area sounds thin. Possibly over-singing. Probably an imbalance of some kind. Depends on what you mean by thin. If it's airy, like you're... We're getting that air seeping over the vocal fold. The vocal folds are separating. That's never going to result in a full tone. Usually, when we get that vocal fold, frequently, let's say frequently when the sound is having that abduction, you're getting that air seepage, it doesn't sound full, it's because there's too much force on the thyroarytenoid dominant singing voice and the muscles just kind of get locked into that configuration. They have to be flexible enough to elongate while also staying adducted or closed. And so you're going to have to assess how you are making your way through the zona de passaggio and see, is it an airflow thing? Am I forcing it too much on the bottom? Like, what's going on there? Fabio, I talked a lot about daily workouts today. In general, 15-20 minutes in addition to your repertoire, but it can differ depending on what your needs are. So you're going to have to assess that and then, decide what works best for you. We're having really bad problems with the video today. It seems to be buffering quite frequently. Hopefully I'm coming through reasonably well. I'm going to skip to the bottom here just to see. Looks like it's okay. Hello, Matthew. I'm skipping around. Aw, thank you, Scott. I'm skipping around here. I'm going to get back to the questions here. From Turkey. From England. Lots of stuff here. From Kenya, Missouri. Brilliant, everybody. Okay. You're very welcome, Kath. Thank you for watching. Hey Jeff, thanks for helping us with your videos. I want to ask, will learning and practicing the vocal techniques in your video change us to be even better at singing pop sounds? Well, that's the idea, everything viral. The idea is to come to a neutral mode of phonation and then adapt that phonation so that you get the best use of your voice. I wonder if we're having issues here. Hold on a second. Hopefully we will all stay. Please check the video resolution. It says it's a good connection. Hopefully you can still see me all right. Let me know if you can't see me okay. I'm going to check in. No one's saying anything. Okay. Well, I'm going to keep on going. Oh, you can hear you well, just the video looks laggy. I wonder why that would be. Well, hopefully it won't be too annoying, folks. I do apologize for that. Like I said, I didn't use my normal settings because I realized right when I was about to log in and start the stream that I hadn't set it all up in advance. So I apologize if the stream is a little bit laggy. It'll be right next time. From Guatemala, watching you from Russia. Cool. How can I stay calm while singing an audition? Oof. Good question. Hello from Buenos Aires. I've done a few videos on performance anxiety. I would say there's a lot of things in that. I mean, I could write a book. I had meant to write a book about it and then got sidetracked on other things. In brief, choose repertoire that you know you can knock out of the park. Like, choose repertoire that if you had to audition at 3 a.m. in the morning, and you weren't gonna know which day it was. Like, the audition people showed up at your house and woke you up at 3 a.m. and they're like, okay, go for it. Like, sing that song or that material. Auditions are not the times to try to challenge yourself with some new piece of repertoire or something that's outside your wheelhouse. Pick something that you can do, that you have done. Obviously, that satisfies the audition requirements. So don't choose something, don't choose a pop song if you're auditioning for opera classes. That doesn't really work, unless that's all you've got, in which case then you're going to have to make do with what you got. That's a starters. I would say take a look at what's on my channel, because I've done a few about that, and there's a variety of different tactics that I go over. But that would be the first and foremost thing that I would suggest you do, is pick something that you know like the back of your hand. Pick something that you know like the back of your hand, which is to say, particularly well. How long does it take to get your voice back in shape after you've taken a couple months off singing? Kind of depends on where you were before you took the time off. Speaking from I've never taken a couple months off singing, but when I has been really hurt by then that can take some time. That can take some time to get better. Okay, I'm gonna switch. I can see it's getting really bad here. Let's do this. Check 1, 2. Test 1, 2. Oh dear. Let's see here. Hopefully, this will be better. Seems like it's gone a little bit. Seems like it says it's good. Apparently, I needed to, I was not able to change the resolution while, oh, hey, Brandon. I wasn't able to change the resolution Goodness, there's a lot of questions. We lost a lot of viewers during that little outage. Well, that's okay because I can catch up on all these questions. So, let's see here. Hopefully it's better. It says it's good. Hey, Jürgen, I'm doing well, thanks. Hello from Finland. Let's see here. LTB, I have a video it's 10:30, but if you have time, get my question then. You speak of cricothyroid regarding passaggi. Can you say more on that? Well, the cricothyroid musculature connected to the either ends, it's really on the hyoid cartilage, but it's the engagement of those cricothyroid muscles that elongate the vocal fold and stretch it out so that you get a smooth transition into your upper register. This is, oh goodness, I'm sorry, folks.